Okay, so some people were interested in, after a QSO with me, about this homemade Sideswiper. It is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, it even has a big C-clamp on that to help squeeze it together. It is mounted to a wooden block that came from a kid's toy set that I saved from my kids. It's got, you could see that or not, two of these kind of blocks, really ugly looking wires in the back, and it is, you can see it right there, that is double-sided tape, the really good mounting tape. This thing does not come off. It probably will never come off easily again. This is a big tile with rubber feet underneath it. It does not move. I don't care what anyone says about Sideswipers, you got to hold it with one hand or not. That's not true. This is so heavy, and the rubber feet are all over the place. I think I got about 8 of them underneath there. This thing isn't going anywhere. I decided to go against the grain here and use something with a giant contact. In this case, 1/2-inch copper tubing, and this stuff right here is what plumbers use to strap piping, just like this right here, to the rafters underneath when they're constructing a house or a building. Obviously, the blade is not a hacksaw blade. It is a reciprocating saw blade, and I broke many hacksaw blades. They become soft after a while. I must have whipped them too much, and they basically just became soft like a coat hanger after a while and fell apart. This is the business end here, where you short out 2 of the posts. So one of these is connected, and it just goes straight underneath here. It goes underneath, right underneath the front. You can see it goes underneath the front, all the way out to the back. You can see how long it is. Here it is. That's how long it is. It's as long as my forearm. And it comes out the back here. And that's your 2. And I bent up that same stuff into some sort of a fan stock clip looking thing. This thing cost me only a couple of bucks to build, and it's all I'm going to use for now because it works and I'm comfortable working it. This is the gap. You can set the gap. You can go ahead and unscrew this. I got that thing down there pretty good at an angle. It's not going through the tubing, it's going at an angle so it really bites down. This side you put first, and this side you put second, and you let it bite down, and this thing doesn't go anywhere. That's it. It stays rigid until I loosen that and I want to adjust the gap or clean the blade or whatever. This little thing I found out after building a couple of these, it's kind of important to have this half inch or so space between here, because it allows the blade to flex a little bit, and it uses some of its own characteristics of the springiness of the steel. So I made some that are flush up against the block, and it doesn't work as well, and it makes more noise than it's worth. Something else too, it is really, I think I've come across something here. The Sideswiper does not only go sideways, but if the way you're holding it, it actually twists a little bit. And that's important to get some whipping action. So I'll just demonstrate a little bit, one hand, so you know I don't have to hold it down. And I'll do a little bit of a... As you can see, I don't follow all the rules of Sideswipery, because where you have to have, that's too slow. I don't keep my spacing right. So here's how I go it. Okay, so you can actually do 2 dits on the same side. There's no hard and fast rule. It's whatever works for you. So anyway, and also you can get into some really, what do they call that? A swing, if you really want to. That's the fun part about this. You can have a distinct swing, just like you're not supposed to do. I know you're not supposed to do it, all you purists out there, but it's a lot of fun just to be able to go. Okay, so anyway, that's how this thing works. And you can see I got the grip kind of on the top part of it, not all the way down at the bottom. But it changes, because sometimes I really just want to grab it by the side. Or sometimes I want to just grab it right up here, especially if I'm changing speed. It all depends on how I feel like it. I like the feel of the steel. I'm not going to put finger pieces on. I'm just not going to bother. I like this. Also, the length that you pull the saw blade out from here. If you loosen this and loosen a screw in here, you can pull it out and you get a different spring tension on it also. So it's adjustable in that way, all the way up to the point where you don't have any more exposed blade in the back, because you got to be able to put the the connection on the back. So you can slide this in if you want a tighter selection, push it in that way, or you can pull it out this way. You can adjust the gap. So anyway, that was 7 minutes of my Sideswiper. Thank you very much.